What up, man? Welcome to Beyond the Laughter, man. We is back, man. We got Cam Edwards, host with the most. We got Terrance G doing the damn thing. We got the monster of comedy to my left, Zilla, and I am Lavetti Vegas. We begin into a real deep conversation about war shows and comments getting on. I mean, I think it took a little spin, man. Cam had to go take his diarrhea pills real quick. He just started pooping all over this place about how he felt, man. It was great points. It wasn't great points. It ain't even. The subject was right here, and he started turning, and I was like, "Oh, we ain't never gonna get booked. None of us now. I should have never put him on, man.
No.
None of us is getting booked after this."
It's like
I'm gonna let him continue real quick, man. Do his thing, and then we're gonna get some other opinions about it. But I think everybody's gonna stay quiet.
How can I say this? It's like you got a little blackball myself, right?
I don't know this brother.
What I'm saying though, I gotta keep it 1,000 because I feel like this is the conversation that we never actually had. We don't it's like it's swept to the side or it's kind of hush hush.
You have to ignore it.
You don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh. And I'm like, no, shed some light on this. This is the way that our entertainment scene starts to grow, progress, and go to the next level. Right. How are we gonna get on if we're not supporting each other?
Well,
I
think when I told you when you first got in this, when you first started, I said it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be rough. I said I've been doing it for 20 years, and I'm still trying to find that right track. It's tough, bro, especially where we at. We're not in a bigger city. We're in a smaller demographic, and then it's a bunch of us just trying to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, like I said, I've been doing it the longest. But guess what, man? When I was about 5-6 years ago, I got reintroduced to the comedy where I didn't even know it exists. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a baby all over again, man. Even though I had this long tenure, you know, I've been into this long time, man. But still, like, man, I'm still feel lost, because it's so much different, man.
Yeah.
Real talk, man. Me and this brother, we talk a lot about that, like. You know, I'm trying to.
Don't put me in.
No.
I'm nominated. I'm getting booked.
They get nominated, start acting different.
Wait a minute, hold on. Did I code switch?
They start acting real.
But what I'm saying is, though, it's a modern time. So you know, he put me up on game on how to, how to market a little bit better and all that, because a lot of stuff, man, coming up, when I first came up, it was way different, man. You had social media.
Absolutely.
You had to actually go out there and prove your worth and, actually do what you do. Now it's so much easier. You can put out clips, you can do this, it's easy to get booked and everything, man. Yeah, this is dinosaurs here, bro.
I think to ride dinosaurs and pterodactyls.
It's a different world now, man.
I think it's changed for me in my tenure too. Is like it used to be that you had to be funny and keep showing up.
Yeah.
And yes, you still have to be funny, but now it feels like it's really just morphed into the after hang. Yeah. If you're not hanging, you're not gonna be in the shows, you're not gonna be invited to get booked or things like that. And I get it, man, nobody wants to work with somebody they don't like. So I understand that aspect of it. You gotta be cool as well as be funny. But I feel like a lot of the stuff has been pushed more on the hang. So if you're hanging, and you're doing that, you're going to get...
Well, they make it personal now after that.
Well, you don't got to be friends, but you got to be friendly.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is, man.
How do you gauge that if you don't talk to a person?
But that's true, too. And not to turn anybody's point, I'm not saving face when I say this. I don't want nobody thinking that...
Code switching!
I don't want nobody thinking I'm code switching. Shout out to whoever that guy was that was on here. Anyway, so...
Chill. Relax.
No, I remember his group more than I remember him. But anyway, back to what I was saying. They just got out of here. Nobody's taking any shot. It's just the truth. This
is sniping, bro.
This is not a DJ K Slade mixtape. So let me quit taking shots. Shout out to that nobody. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So when it comes to no, I'm not. I don't know who you talking about. But when it comes to actually working and putting in work, I'm gonna tell you it is. You do got hit mics, and I think it has become over the when I first started and when I didn't start. Because honestly, anybody will tell you, and I'm not tooting my own horn. I used to go to Mike's in Omaha, drive to Lincoln, go to that mic the same night. You know what I mean? I used to work. I was working 2-3 times. Even though people didn't like me, they still saw me work. You know what I mean? And it does suck because I have seen, even from when I started now, it's like, man, you gonna hang out? You know what I mean? And I didn't recognize it as much as I did now. You know, I got a kid, so I'm not.
You did open mics for yourself to get better, though.
But I did, yeah, and I did to get better, and then in some of the mics, it just was like, hey, well, you want to get booked, you know what I mean? After a while of, you doing it and stuff like that and going out. But see, I don't hit mics like I used to. Rarely hit mics. I'm gonna be honest with myself now, and it is tough to do that. I mean, y'all don't even know. When I was getting booked in Sioux City, I went to the mic once. You know what I mean? But I stayed in contact with him, and that was an hour and a half for 5 minutes. You know what I mean? But it was like, damn, this dude drove all the way down here to do what? You know what I mean? And it was like, hey, man, what are your name?
And
you know what I mean?
it makes it easy to lend credence to the idea of clicks, too, because it's complex. It is part of, you have to hit the open mics, you have to be seen, you have to be working, you do want to do the hang, but you can't do this thing and not be seen and have people remember you because so many faces do come in.
Because we gotta admit, there's a lot of open micers that get on shows and you can be open. I mean, we was all there once. We was all open micer and got a show. I'm not knocking that, but we know there's some people on there and you be like, man, like this, like you know what I mean, like you when you see Heelys and you know what I mean and DCs and we can keep going because I don't really care because I love to smoke first.
Well, hey, who's let's get into it.
You can
Wake
complain.
it up. Good morning.
You can complain about not getting booked.
Wake it up.
You can
Good
complain
morning.
about not having friends, but it all comes down to hard work. It all comes down to your work ethic. It all comes down to your EPK. It all comes down to who you contact, and it all comes down if you're hungry to actually do it. I got made fun of going to a free show 4 hours away, but I went to that one free show and got booked 6 times from that producer.
Well, Cam
You know what I'm
brings up
saying?
a good point, too, to kind of tie into your thing is I think it's inevitable when you start off, you're like, I'm not getting the respect I feel I deserve. And a lot of times it comes early for you because you get entitled. I know, at least I was when I was a young comic. And then you start that venture of, I've got to do my own show. That's when you find out whether or not you're serious, I think. And that's when you find out whether or not you're really going to do this and whether or not you're about this. And so that's a big props to like you putting on your own shows and not just sitting there on the internet always just being like, man, nobody wants to book me because they're afraid of me. I'm funnier than them. I've seen that happen so many times with newer, younger comics. I felt that stuff before. I was just fortunate enough that social media wasn't like that when I first started.
And it sucks, man. And honestly, I did the same thing. I wasn't really getting booked, but I was trying. And then that's I was like, well, I'm gonna do this Comedy Mafia show and see what happens. 108 people showed up. You know what I mean? So it was just like, sometimes you gotta do that by yourself, but why do we gotta go that length for me to do it by myself? Like why can't I just get 5 minutes on your show real quick and I can bring, 30, 40 people, you know what I mean? I can bring that many people. I can bring who you're doing. I done seen people that's known around here and they only sold 1 ticket so their show had to get canceled. And I seen another person who's, I'm not gonna keep naming people who get their show canceled, but I ain't never had a show canceled. Period. I never had a show canceled. You know what I mean? And I've had the least I've ever had was 54 people. So if I can bring at least 54 people on my own, you know what I mean? Then what do you think, I can do if I go on your show? And I'm not even needing that many minutes. I done a show where I brought like 25 people and only had 7 minutes. You know what I mean? And then get paid for even 5 of those people showing up.
We got to work better with collaboration.
What can we do to make a better collaboration?
We need to collab, but I want to collab with people that want to actually work with me. And I'm not going to sit here and work with people who going to sit here and play smiley face and and treat me like I'm Krusty the Clown when I come to the stage.
And I'm like,
you know what I mean? So it's 2 different things.
I try to work with everybody, right? I try to work with everybody. I try to be respectful of people's, craft, and I understand, even if you might not have a strong suit, you could get better at it, working in it, right? But it's like one of them things where we got to stop the assumptions and speaking in absolutes. And what I mean by that is like, when you see me at an open mic, when I first hit the scene, nobody knew who I was. Nobody cared to know who I was.
Yes.
Nobody spoke. Nobody introduced themselves.
And not to bring fire oil to the fire.
You know what I mean?
It was a group he was in. They said the same thing about me. You know what I mean? Not bring up the past. Same group. I had a flyer, and people was posting in group chats talking about who are these guys?
Who is these guys?
These are nobody.
Yeah.
This and that. I'm like,
So
man,
it was
I was just like, yo, I was
tripping,
like, but they was in my face like, hey, what's up, man? And it was like, whoa,
That's the one.
what's up? You know,
So-
but they turned on you and like, man, these are nobodies. They
I
the ones
show up
doing
to an
this.
open mic, and I walk in, and of course, how I'm dressed. First of all, it ain't too many of me in there. So when I walk in, everybody kind of turn and look at me like, there goes the neighborhood. Like, oh, who let North Omaha in here? You know what I'm saying? I come in, I sit down. What's up? How y'all doing? Hey, where can I sign up at? Hey, you're gonna tell jokes? Well, yeah, man. The list. You know what I mean? I put my name on the list. Of course, you late because I'm late, but I go
You
last.
late today, you know.
So I'm a late everywhere. You know.
Stereotype.
Glad you said it so I didn't have to.
You can't say it's racist.
I mean, it's better than another word you could say.
So it was like, I walk in, I'll sign my name up on the list, and it'll be like, okay, I get ready to go up. I do my performance. I get off stage. They like, yo, he was funny. But nobody will say anything to me. They're like, yo, he was funny, man. I kind of, all right, y'all be smooth. I leave, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come back the next night or next week, do it again. And it was like, after so long, finally, you know what I mean? I think one of the first people was like Dylan. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Dylan.
And shout out Dylan.
Shout
Dylan
out
the
to
truth,
Dylan,
man.
man.
But
Come on, man. Not
Dylan
like
was
the-
like, hey man, you wanna come to the open mic? You know what I'm saying? I'm having open mics at the back line, man. Come check us out. Woo. And it was like, all right. You know what I mean? I went down there. So it was like, but it's been times where I might ask a question or I might be posing because I really don't know.
Yep.
But I'm asking, looking for, point me in the right direction, give me some game. And because it's common knowledge, they're like, you don't know that? How could you not know that? He must be a new guy. I'm new, stupid.
You also
Like-
have the insecurities, I think, that play into when you ask questions. People get offended, but they don't ever say nothing to you. And so you just got to deal with it behind the scenes, not even knowing that you tripped a trigger for somebody else, and it creates this whole spiral. It's in any scene, man, and you get the rumor mill starts going, people start talking, some of these people are connected in certain areas, and before you know it, it's like, well, Cam's a problem child because look at how he asked this question, and it was like, I admit it came from a place of genuine ignorance. I don't mind looking like a fool because I'm trying not to be a fool.
You know me, so you better be very careful.
But see, it's one of the things where, and that's how, cause like I come in, I laugh, I tell jokes, all right, I'm cool, but then it's like, don't get it twisted, bro, cause I will get on your head. You know what I mean? So it's like, I guess people don't know how to take me sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, how do I, he got the face on, like I don't really want to talk to him, but
RNF.
can I? Yeah, RNF, yeah. So it's like,
One of my jokes, don't steal it.
I'm here to tell jokes. I'm here to laugh.
I was planning on stealing it.
No, I'm gonna take.
Here
that.
we go.
Again, you can't say it. But it's
But
like,
for $9.99, you have a 24-hour limit.
Just don't do it like Tony the Tiger does with his Frosted Flakes. That's all.
Don't be Kramer from Seinfeld when you do it. But
right. But no, so
Dang.
I just say like, you know what I mean? It be them things where it's like, because I ain't never been afraid to introduce or talk to somebody new, somebody I don't know, whatever, you know what I mean? And I feel like in this industry, entertainment, we already are,
Yeah, that's how I met you.
you know what I'm saying? But we are already like changing people's moods, mindsets, whatever the case, you know what I mean? Even though you're going through your own thing personally, whatever the case, right? But it's like you gotta be approachable.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to be open to have new conversations with new individuals who you don't know.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And then on the other side, don't be afraid to venture out and meet people, talk to people, shake a hand, meet a friend. You never know who.
But social media plays a role in it now too,
Yeah.
man. Like
Still
not
believes,
everywhere,
yeah.
but some places look at your social
I
media.
don't.
I didn't know that
They
either,
do,
man.
but just see the thing.
Because of social media.
Even
That's the thing.
Even the thing about that though, because I'm not gonna call this dude out because he's cool and I'm friends with him. But when you buy views, and you buy followers, and they look at that, and then they book you, and then you suck, you know, you got to back it up. You know what I mean?
But if you're still selling tickets, you can suck. That's the unfortunate part.
But see, that's why I looked at his profile. His numbers was way down. You want to know why his numbers was down? Because he quit paying for those views.
Yep.
See, he was paying for views, so they was putting them on places, putting them on shows, putting them in certain spots. And then when those views went down, when they went from the number they was at, I'll just leave it at that, to not even going, you know, 400 or 500.
Like cheating to me, man.
It is cheating. It is cheating. It's steroids, pretty much. But at the same time, that's what these places be looking at, and these places look for.
Absolutely.
And they look for that, and then you got to be funny. You know
I know
what
several.
But if you can back it up with the fake it till you make it, and still have
You have to be able to back it up.
You got to back it up, though.
I know several dudes right now that I refuse to call out because they've grown into it. Not all of them have, but they've grown into it. But they started out by having 5 accounts, and they were liking their own stuff, just logging in, and then the next one, to the next one, to the next one. So every time they posted something, because that's how you gain traction, right? Is by people's interaction. You got to get, you know, likes and stuff like really quickly upon posting. Otherwise, it starts to get buried and all of that. But social media ain't nothing but fake. So speaking of that, we'll kind of take a shift. We had the TikToker, an influencer, a big influencer on TikTok that was trying to show people how to do budget shopping and bargain shopping. Was at Target. He got busted. You know why? She was shoplifting the whole time.
Stealing. Yeah. Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Stealing, bro.
So you gotta fake it till you make it, but you might want to think about putting your stuff back on the shelf before you end up trying to walk out.
I am recording. I'm gonna say that right. Hey, y'all, just got this Gucci bag.
I'm going live. Boom gang, boom gang, whole lot of gang.
There's an alarm going off in the video. Yeah, I already paid for it. Don't worry about that alarm, yo. Like,
Yeah, that wasn't me.
You got board games on sale for 25% off here, and I'm not gonna pay for one damn hour.
5-finger discount.
that's too funny.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's how much people fake it on social media, though.
Because
So,
they want the likes and the cachet of having those likes. Just like people that like,
I mean, the Bow Wow fake.
yeah,
being
they
on
want the clout.
Clout
They
is
want
Even
the
Bow Wow did that. He faked with being on a
airplane.
on
Or
airplane.
jet.
or I was
Even
just saying,
famous people was even faking that. That's crazy.
They fake.
wasn't it his also had like, wasn't it like a mansion or something that he had posted?
I didn't see the mansion. I just saw the jet.
I was just saying, I remember the jet specifically, and I felt like it was also tied like a couple months before that,
pretty
before
sure
it
he
went
did,
viral.
though.
He was out in front of a mansion, and it was like, man, dudes that have verifiable clout, regardless if it was 20 years ago or whatever,
Still got it.
verifiable clout, and he's still out here.
I still go
faking
to a
it.
Bow Wow concert.
My favorite person out here.
Thing that picks me up
My favorite
when I'm feeling down.
person out here.
Oh, by the time you go to a what?
My favorite person out here is Orlando Brown.
Cut.
Man.
No,
I
Oh,
like Orlando Brown. Everybody think he's crazy. That dude is a genius.
that
He's
dude
smarter
is
than he looks.
He's smart.
all over the place.
I
in
like
every
Orlando
conversation.
Brown. He make you think he crazy. That dude is a genius.
But what's so funny about it that I look at, right? Like in this entertainment thing is so crazy because social media, and I can't stress this enough. It's smoke and mirrors, bro. Social
really is.
media is just a highlight reel of people's best moments, best stories, to make you think that their life is just lit.
But that's-
they got
but-
so much going on,
It-
and in reality, these people be miserable,
It do.
they be broke.
I mean,
they
yeah.
don't- you know what I mean?
And not to turn back around to the comments thing, like even the list of, you know, nominees or whatever. And I'll tell y'all how it works, just in case y'all don't know or do know. You know, and I admit last year I was campaigning. You know, like, hey man, let me get me a year.
Man, we got a
You
whole
know?
show about
yeah,
it.
you know, the homegirl was like, "Oh, I nominated you." I'm like, "You
They
nominated?"
nominated that fool. He did all that hate in my inbox, bro. Oh man, I said he got nominated. Hey yo,
My old girl told me last year
Alright.
she voted for me, and I'm like, and I'm in Denver. No, I wasn't in Denver. No, I was in Atlanta. No, it was when first time I went to Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah, first time I went to Denver, and you know, and she told me I was at the airport with a layover or something, and to go to Atlanta for another show. Not to brag, humble. But she had told me, and I was like, "What? For what?" She's like, "For the OEA awards," and I'm like, "What?" So then she told me, and I told people, and that's how it got happened. You know, this time was actually organic. I didn't really ask anybody. I didn't even know what was going on,
Yeah.
and I got told this morning, "Hey man, congrats on your."
But you deserve
Congrats
to
on-
be on that list.
I'm about to
though.
say, but you
Like,
deserve
I
it.
really look on that list.
You know, but
deserve
if
it,
you put me to the side, they put people on that list because of social media and followers and stuff. There's some people that don't deserve to be on the list, like we all know, but it's because of that they probably asked 100 of their friends to put them on there, and then they make a joke or a mockery out of what's going on or whatever the case may be.
I didn't even know how to get people to vote for me to be on the OEA Awards.
Yeah, like it's not necessarily.
I'm like, hey, go vote for me, best comedian. Like,
you know, and it's
the whole hood would have did it. Like,
yeah,
no.
you know what I mean. But again, it's after you get there, then it's like credentials after that. You see what I'm saying? And then that's why I said, was the research deeper? Does it need to be researched deeper? Because
Absolutely.
okay, I could be nominated, but everybody, in humble brag, everybody know I travel. So it's like there's some of these people on the list that don't even travel. But then they'll get me with the whole, well, you got to do a whole bunch of local shows. It's like, damn, man, my Atlanta show was bigger than those 5 shows this person was on. You know
that's why I said I'd be curious of the actual criteria for reasons like that.
Yeah,
because I remember doing a couple clubs out in DC doing some of the competitions and whatnot, and one thing I hated about them, it was about crowd laughter, and that was how they gauged it, and who the audience voted for. Well, you can obviously rig that. If you can bring more people, you can stuff the ballot box.
We saw, and me and another comic just went through that.
Yes, and it's terrible. That's
not against it. So it was cool contest.
I love that the Funny Bone here doesn't do that. They have a panel of judges that goes independent because it has to be.
But those panel of judges shouldn't be other comics that I see at the open mic that just went in front of me. And I think sometimes that happens, man, because I got a judge. Yeah, it was a judge. I did a competition. I ain't gonna say that. And it was a judge that I know that don't like me. So when I saw the bad, I knew it was from this person.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, man, I just saw you at open mic last week, and then they say he was a judge. I was like, oh, I lost this before I even came in.
I don't think anything's going to be 100% fair, but it's at least more fair than another one because I went to Magoobies, man.
Comprised of the winners.
Oh, comprised of the people.
Past winners.
Not even winners.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Just something.
It should be people that don't do comedy, that are actually people that are watching, that have nothing to do with comedy. They're actually judges of just 5 random people that you're just picking, and I don't care if it's a cook in the back or
just
the door guy or
watch the show throughout the night.
You should ask people when they come in, did you come here to see anybody specifically? And granted, people find a way to subvert that too because they'll find out how it works and they'll be like, no, I didn't come here to see somebody. But they came to see, you or me or something, and then they're going to vote for me or you whoever. But at least if they did something like that, you take people that are there for comedy.
It's a little more organic feeling.
100%. You're going to get people's real thoughts and feelings on that.
For sure.
But again, the Funny Bone here does it probably one of the best ways that I've seen, and so it kind of helps eliminate some of that fluff.
Absolutely.
I did a show out there, and it was more so just to say I did the Funny Bone. I did the Clash, and it was like, I just want to say that I did it. All right, I get to perform there, but it was like, I don't know, I really wasn't tripping about doing the Clash too much. Because I guess for what
That's
I
a big
was...
club we're going to quit talking about, though.
No, I rock with the Funny Bone. I'll say this. The one thing that I dislike about our club scene here, though, is our city is the only Funny Bone that doesn't have an open mic. Every major city that I go to, I try to hit a stage.
You're saying not a competition, right?
Not even a Clash of the Comics. They just have a weekly open mic where they'll put the list on their Facebook page. And whether you're in town or traveling from out of town, you can go on that Facebook page and sign up for a day at that at either one of the locations where they're having a show, show up to the show and get on stage. And then it's like, it might be $10 for people to get in, but if you're performing, it's $5 or whatever. You know what I mean? So you still make money off the club, whatever. But people come in and they're able to perform. They're able to get practice in, and you actually start to see individuals who kind of come out consistently, start to grow, what have you. You never know who might be in the building, who might be coming in, and after a while, it gives people something to do.
Well, you get better exposure to your actual jokes because the big thing that I think I've learned over the years, the big lie about open mics is I don't think you really get better at comedy doing open mics outside of your first year.
Not when you're doing it with other. I don't want to say it like
when
this.
When the crowd is
comprised
of a majority of comics, you tend to not get better. In my experience, maybe it's just me.
I understand,
but I think that you get better when you're in front of actual crowds.
Keep playing the stand up until they stand up. That's
because you can't really bomb at an open mic, just the same way you can't really kill at an open mic. You might do well at an open mic, but you're not killing unless you're at a show with people that paid, they have stock in it, and they're gonna vote with their dollar and their laughter because now they're invested.
That makes sense.
It's open mics are absolutely a necessity However, I don't think past a certain point. Sometimes it might be 3 years in. Sometimes it might be 6 months in. You don't really get better. You just kind of learn a little bit more about that.
When I started comedy, I didn't have no open mics. Like my open mics was in my bathroom in my mirror. I was my own audience, and I practiced for 5 years, man, just making myself laugh, writing jokes, and then I was like, you know what? I'm a comedian. I'm gonna go out here and tell people I'm a comic until somebody put me on, and that's what happened. And when I did my first show, I was ready because I took almost 5 years to hone my own self. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, I'm my biggest. I'm more of a bigger critic than anybody in the open mic crowd can ever be more than me. Because at the same, here's the thing about it is, only you can fix you.
And only you know what you find funny,
exactly.
And you got to sell your funny.
Exactly.
So now this is the thing, though. What do you say to, or how do you, to the individuals, or not to cut you off, how do you, what do you say to an individual who's walking into this open mic, brand new, fresh to the scene, wanting to do comedy, and he or she is already probably funnier than some of the people that have been there? That are there and
If I was in the audience, I would walk up to them. My bad. I would walk up to that person and tell them, "Hey, keep doing your thing. You was funny." And if I was like in a position to put them on or at least check them out, I I do that anyway. That's what when I was going to the open mics, I never went to do. All open mics I've been to, I never performed at. I've always went there to watch other people, man, because I wanted to see what they do. I've been in the game long enough to where I feel like I can sit there and I can see what is what not.
Sum it up, right?
And I don't critique nobody. I don't go up there. I don't judge. I don't.
Hey, you should have said.
I don't give no. If I give criticism, it's constructive.
Yeah.
Because constructive means to build.
Yeah.
Brutal is exactly what the word means.
Yeah.
Brutal. So if I'm coming up to a person, I'm gonna give them constructive criticism. I'm like, hey, you know what, you doing good. Like when I first met a friend of ours named Jared. When I first met him, he was using the N-word too much it was in Council Bluffs. It's an all-white bar. I like, bro, calm that down. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know him, but it was the first time I introduced myself to him. I told him who I was. I told him I was in the game this long. I introduced myself and I said, hey man, can I holler at you on some constructive stuff? I'm like, hey man, you funny man, but you might want to kind of tone that down. Kind of watch your surroundings.
Read the room.
As a big brother, read the room. And I feel like that if you a comic, man, if you've been doing this for at least 5 years or more, I feel like you should be able to, or at least try to be like a big brother to some of these younger comics out there, man.
Give them knowledge you wish you had at that moment.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of pushing them away.
I do anytime they ask.
I got started. It was a comedian from Minnesota that came. A friend introduced me to him, and we sat down and chopped it up. And he seen the funny in me, and he taught me how to write, how to practice, and everything. He's like, man, practicing me and write this and all that. And he even explained to me why you practicing the mirror. So to critique yourself, you see your mannerism, you see how the way you move. You be able to actually really hone in your craft. And if you're not honing in your craft and taking that seriously, like really trying to get every aspect of, it ain't just telling jokes. It's a lot more to it.
It's more to it.
If you ain't doing all that, man, then you shouldn't be doing this. You got to take it seriously. You know what I'm saying?
But it's like, go ahead.
We got to wrap it up, man.
All right.
We done got deep, man. I said like 5 words. We got like 30 seconds. Y'all want to plug in y'all social media real quick? I'm here all the time, so I don't even care. Y'all who want to plug in
Instagram, Zilla Monster Comedy. You also find me on Facebook, George Zilla Brooklyn.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, y'all can catch me Facebook, Cameron Edwards. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I am _Cam Edwards. Yes, I am _Cam Edwards. Man, catch me everywhere, bro. We doing it all, man. Catch me in the new TV series Shots. It's on Tubi right now. Got a recurrent couple episodes in that. What else, man? I got a new music single that's actually on all available streaming platforms. I got 2 of them out right now. Booty Swang, it's Southern Soul. Trail Ride. Then I got Sick and Tired featuring my girl Nina Kalina. I got a new EP about to drop real soon, man.
What, man? I said your social media,
it's man. It's a vibe.
We ain't got no time, man. Yo, me and Terry be
my bad.
Here in
Sorry,
man.
I'm doing a lot.
Appreciate y'all coming out.
Everywhere.